Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a great country with freedoms like no other. To honor America and those who have courageously served, we invite you to stand and remove your hats as the veterans of foreign wars Post 7696 and the American Legion Post 681 present the colors of our country for the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lakota East High School, home of the Thunderhawks, for Friday Night Lights here on Westchester Cable TV. Tonight in the Hawks Nest, we have a big conference matchup between your Lakota East Thunderhawks and the Fairfield Indians. I'm Dave Royce with my partner in the booth for another season, Ken Yablonsky. Ken, great to be back up here with you. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
I'll tell you what I see right now, and that's a picture-perfect weather Friday night for Friday Night Lights, but you've got Lakota East sitting at 3-2. You've got Fairfield sitting at 3-2.
Yep.
Fairfield 3-1 in the conference. East 2-2 in the conference. East had to go to Princeton, played at Laughlin High School last week, and Princeton is playing very well, so East looking to bounce back. Fairfield beat Lakota West 10-7 last week. They played great football. The 2 games before that, they weren't really tested between Sycamore and Coleraine, but Fairfield had a nice game against Lakota West last week.
And you had a front row seat there. You got the privilege to announce that game over there at Lakota West, and what a low-scoring game that was, right? Like you said, 7-10. West comes up on the short end. Fairfield's coming in here off of a win, 3-game win, right? East, like you said, with that 1-game loss, a big loss to Princeton. Princeton's rolling hard, though. I mean, they're big. They're a machine right now. I mean, they cranked up 408 yards last week. Fairfield with about 154 yards. A lot closer in this matchup tonight as we see East and Fairfield looking at their offensive leaderboards there. East coming in, though, number 1 in the GMC with 1,700 yards. Fairfield number 8. So we'll see how that happens and see what happens with the offensive machine here.
Yeah, Fairfield had some trouble moving the ball against Lakota West last week. Their defense played outstanding. Their defense really stopped West. They only had about 150 yards to win that game. Their quarterback's a little dinged up. Not sure if he's starting or not. We'll find out here in a little bit. Dominic Beck. And here's a kickoff, and Fairfield's going to start with the ball.
Fairfield likes to run the ball. East likes to throw the ball, so we'll see how that matches up tonight as Fairfield takes the opening kickoff, runs it back to about the 16-yard line where they'll set their offense up, and East defense will come out. Now, that's an interesting thing there on the defensive side. We flipped the scale there, Ken. We got Fairfield sitting at number 4 in the conference with East number 7. So East defense going to get tested a little bit tonight, see what they can do against this run. If Fairfield's going to run the ball, that's what we've seen so far. And then, like I said, we'll see what East can do on their offensive side of the ball. As we know, Coach Kittner likes to air it out just a little bit.
My instinct is we're going to see a low-scoring game. We're going to see defenses make plays. It's going to be kind of a battle of field position between the 30s. And who's going to make the big play? Who's going to take a shot downfield? I think both offenses are going to be conservative at first, run the ball off tackle, see if they can get a running play. Not sure how much passing we'll see early, but I've been known to be proven wrong, so we'll see what happens here.
Special teams turnovers, always a key. Fairfield had a couple turnovers last week, still came out with a win, which was impressive, as they take the first play as a handoff up through the middle to about the 21-yard line.
As Booker running the ball, and it looks like Greg Lawrence is in at quarterback. So Dominic Back, their main quarterback, not getting the start today. I know he took a couple hard hits against West, and I'm assuming that's why he's out. A little recovery there. So I'm sorry. No, he is in. He is in.
Setting up at the 21-yard line. That sun is right in our eyes, Ken, so I'm with you on that. Tough to see right now.
Dominic Back is in at quarterback.
38 takes the ball around the right-hand side for Fairfield. That'll be Corius Booker.
Yeah, Booker gets the brunt of the carries for Fairfield. Back will run as well. He'll tuck and run, but Booker's going to have the bulk of the carries. So those two pretty much are 75 to 90% of Fairfield's offense.
We see the replay here, Ken, right on the right-hand side. 38 finds a little hole there. But the East defense swarms on that pretty quickly and puts a stop to it, and it's going to bring up third down and about 1. So good opportunity here for the Hawks to start out with a good 3-and-out potentially if they can hold the line of scrimmage here and make this a 4th down.
Yeah, they're stuffing the box there with extra linebackers up front.
Here comes the push right there. 38 binds a big hole, and he's off to the races. Going to find deep into the East secondary till the safety can get over there.
Yeah, there's Booker with a head of steam. Once he gets past that first block, we're going to see if we can see who had that block. Carson Schroyer was in on the tackle for East. And you see it's just a simple around the end, but there's some nice blocking there.
That was the play before where they held it to 3rd and 1. But, yeah, like you said, East came up to the line of scrimmage. They had the blitz on. And, you know, if you blitz the wrong gap and Fairfield blocks the right one, that popped that hole and got in the secondary. Ryder hooks with the push out, going both ways tonight. We'll keep an eye on Ryder as he's the main threat in the backfield for the Hawks. As Fairfield dumps one underneath, right over top the linebackers, gets into the secondary again and out of bounds about the 38-yard line. So Fairfield moving the ball pretty well here so far.
Yeah, Back just a little pop pass to
Burns.
Burns, yep.
Little replay there, Ken.
Oh, that was Lawrence, I believe. Greg Lawrence.
Lawrence, number 3, yeah. So that sets Fairfield up 1st and 10 on about the 38-yard line.
You know, Back's an interesting quarterback. He's not huge. He's not very tall. But he knows the game. He understands the game. He's usually in the right spot and can read a defense pretty well, and that's what he did on that play.
In the shotgun, puts it in there for the option. 38 grabs that. Cornelius goes straight off the right tackle, and he's going to get about 6 or 8 on that one.
Yeah, he's wrapped up there by Beckett Bush for the Hawks. Bush is another one of those players who plays some offense, some defense. Getting a lot more action here this year.
There he is, number 9.
So Fairfield moving the ball nicely down the field. They're already to the East 32. Man in motion there for Fairfield. Back in shotgun.
Hands it off once again, goes off the left-hand side, and runs into a wall on the Thunderhawks. And they're going to stop the forward progress right there. And he gets stacked up, maybe with a yard gain, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2. Kyle Cox on the stop there for the Hawks.
Yeah, Dawson Reap was also there.
Reap, one to keep an eye on, right? He's always active. We'll hopefully be calling his name quite a bit tonight.
I'm assuming that's a relation to the Reap that graduated.
Absolutely. So quarterback still in the shotgun. Throws a pitch out now this time to Cornelius. Booker. So back to Booker once again.
Yeah, they're not disguising anything. It's not like you have to figure out what they're doing. You know, they're handing off to Booker, or he's looking a little bit for a short pass downfield. So once the Hawks kind of key in on that, hopefully they'll be able to get some stops here. But so far, Fairfield making it look relatively easy to move the chains each time down the field.
Just as we talked at the beginning here, just on the kickoff, what's the East defense going to do so far? They're bending a little bit here as they gave up another 1st down. As back now goes with the quick pitch to number 12 around the right-hand side. That should get ate up by Ryder Hook over there coming up on the safety.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Abramson coming in motion, and back just flipped it to him, but right into the arms of Ryder Hooks.
Ryder Hooks stepping up large right there. And there he is, number 24. Hopefully be calling his name quite a bit here once the possession switches. So you see right there, Ken, read well there by number 3 too, keeping him out to the outside.
Interesting philosophy there, Dave, with Hook playing offense and defense. You don't see that too much at any level except for Pee Wee, but Coach Kitna trusting him.
Going back in the shotgun, going to throw the ball up, air it out, goes right over to the corner, and perfect timing there by number 5 for the Hawks.
Yeah, Carter Jones with the breakup there.
Boy, he was open there for a second, and Jones closed the gap quickly.
How do you feel about the player playing both ways, offense and defense?
You know, we see that sometimes. We saw a Heisman Trophy winner do that. I think it's pretty tough in the high school level. Got to be a special athlete to be able to go both ways. And I guess if a kid has that stamina, can do it, it's worth at least a shot or a try. Now back gets back in the, drops back, looking for something to throw, just kind of throws it downfield away, not to take the sack. As big, is that 87? Was that McFarland chasing him?
That was a good decision by Tom Back. He, you know, like I said earlier, he knows the game, and he's not going to run around and take the sack. He knew to throw it out of bounds, so didn't take a loss on yardage there.
And that was P.J. McFarland on the chase there.
So another player that plays both
another
ways.
Two-way player, yeah.
So we got 4th and 13 from the 31, and too long for a field goal and too short to punt. So
using PJ a lot on those pass rushes. Doesn't play every down on defense, but does quite a few plays there on the D side as Hawks drop back in coverage here. Flushes it back out. He's rolling left, going to try to throw right. He's going to throw it into the sideline, and the defense bends but doesn't break right there, Ken, and holds the Indians as they went for that one on 4th and long. So outside of field goal range, too close, I guess, to punt, so go for it, and came up a little empty-handed, and that was going to be a really tough throw for back to make.
See the East
running left
section there with their Hawaiian theme, I believe. A lot of fluorescent, a lot of grass skirt kind of look there. Sunglasses, beautiful night for football here at the Hawks Nest. And East student section came out in bulk tonight.
Yep, good crowd here tonight on the home side, pretty full. Fairfield with quite a few as well, and they've got their student section over there. Look like they got the fluorescent colors going on over there for Fairfield. Now Hawks get the ball first with a pitch coming out wide to the right. That's number 22 for the Hawks.
It was Braden Augusta taking the pitch from Niall Nutza.
Doesn't find too much there on the offensive.
Yeah, nice tackle by Gabe Ross, the senior, 6-foot senior defensive back for Fairfield.
That'll be a loss of 2 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 12 now.
Ryder
McFarland
Hooks
spread out wide to the right here as the tight end trips left. As Neal goes back, throws a quick one over to McFarland and makes a connection and gets a few of those yards back.
Yeah, quick hit there, and Kobe Lewis right there on the stop. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Hawks, 3rd and 13, as we see the cheerleaders again with the Hawaiian theme, wearing the leis around their neck there, leading the Spirit crew in the student section. See if they can get loud and see if they can prompt the Hawks to get a stop here.
Fairfield showing blitz, shotgun back. They pull back, go into coverage. Kunston throws it out here to the left-hand side, right in front of the East bench, and we got a grab by number 1-8.
Yeah,
Chris
that's
Boyer.
A really nice throw, and Chris Boyer with the catch. I was talking to Chris's dad before the game, Dave, and he's looking to play at a MAC school or some of the smaller ones. He has a visit at Akron tomorrow.
Nice.
Is what I learned.
Ran a great route there. Kunston put the ball right on him on the break, and the Hawks get more than enough yards for a first down at midfield, working at the 50-yard line. Now the play action fake back out to the big tight end. P.J. McFarland looking for some room. Nothing happening over there as the Fairfield defense swarms quickly. So
that's a good open field tackle by Gabe Ross. That's his second on the night. I'm sorry, Ross. Gabe Ross, the announcer and the PA had it backwards. We had it correct.
So, yeah, that brings up another loss on first down here. It brings up second, it looks like 13. P.J. a favored target there on the east side of the offensive ball there. Cunxton likes to find him. He's a big target, about 6'5", 6'6".
So handoff up the middle to Hooks.
Ryder.
He did not have much room, running right into the teeth of the Fairfield defense.
Yeah, I just hope they keep handing the ball. He's had such big games in the past. He had a big game at the beginning of the season, and I think most of these teams are watching film, keying on him. And I know he's struggled of late, but I think a lot of defenses have number 24 in their eyesight. So see if we can use him wisely as he drops back, and the O coordinator maybe use him on a little play action play. Cunxton looking around. Now he finds Hook out of the backfield. Does a great grab. Open Grin. Good move going down the right-hand side. He's going at the 30, the 20. And I think we might have a little chin music on top of that for a few extra as the hanky comes out. As Ryder Hook comes down the right-hand side, right in front of the east bench for a big gain.
Yeah, it's a simple pass that just hits him 5 yards down the field, but the yards after catch, plus the penalty yards, is going to be huge for this Lakota East offense. Let's see this again, a nice little juke move there by Hooks after he makes the catch. See, it's only a 5 yard out, 10 yard out, I guess.
Looking downfield, I think he was.
Simple pass, and then right here he makes a great move.
Yeah, gains about 29, 30 yards, and then with the penalty, a few extra, half the distance, so it takes it down to about the 12, 13 yard line as Lakota sets up, man goes in motion, far left. Cunxton looks left, turns right, has a lot of white in his face right there as the Fairfield Indians swallowed that up, and we're going to lose what we gained on that penalty. So
yeah, big sack by Jake Schwartz. Just read it perfectly, did not get fooled by the motion. East has put number 5, Carter Jones, in motion a few times to see what Fairfield's defense is going to react. But right there, Schwartz just stayed at home, blasted through the line, and got Knutson down for a loss of.
And he wasn't the only one. There was 2 or 3 white shirts behind him, and that's where you just want to see that quarterback just kind of throw to the end zone back and just get rid of the ball, not take that loss. That probably put him out of field goal range as he comes back looking for McFarland along the right-hand side. Little low for the 6'6" tight end, and that'll be incomplete and bring up third down. So, you know, now you got to start managing a little bit of field position here. You're probably
right on the border
31 plus 7, 38, 39-yard field goal.
Right
probably.
On the border. You'd like to get at least 5 yards here to make it more reasonable. I think he has the leg to make the 38-yarder, but I would imagine the Hawks would run here, try and get 4 or 5 yards to give a little extra,
you want to get that
little
down
less distance for the kicker.
Around the 15-yard line, which is where they were when they started. Drops back, going through the pass again, going into the end zone. McFarland, he has it, and gets it knocked out.
Great effort by P.J. McFarland there. He bobbled it up, almost stayed with it. Good defense, just a good football play. And the Hawks are going to attempt a relatively, for high school, long field goal.
So.
But see, Knutson dropped back to pass. He's looking at McFarland all the way. Puts it in the spot that only he could get. Took a little hit there. P.J. did have a foot in, but couldn't quite reel the catch in.
Couldn't hold it and pin it on that shoulder. Did have somebody in that replay down the center there. I saw a black shirt streaking pretty wide open. So here we are from about the 28-yard line. So it's going to be a 38-yard field goal. The snap, the hold, the kick. Looks like he's got enough foot. And it's good.
That ball almost wound up in the putter's parking lot, Dave.
You called it, partner. He had plenty of foot on that and press. Not what we saw earlier in the season from the kicking squad here for Lakota East. But, boy, he would have hit that one from 48 or 58.
There's no wind, so it wasn't wind-aided. That was just pure lag.
Yep.
He got a lot of it. He centered it through the uprights, and that puts the Hawks on the board early, 3-0, Lakota East.
So East puts the stop on the Fairfield defense, gets the ball back, drives, had it in good position, and I would have liked to seen that 5 or 10 yard pass for sure, but hey, Coach Kitna goes with the play into the end zone for a quick strike, doesn't come up, and trusts his kicker, and he puts it in there, though. I will say, Ken, they got a coach down there on the kicking squad that's pretty well known and one of the best in Jim Breach. So I'm sure these young people are getting some good instruction from Coach Breach, and it paid off there with the 38-yarder. So as you said, 3-0 with 4:04 here in the first quarter. Lakota East as they line up for the kickoff, and they go a little short but high down to about the 20-yard line, comes streaking through. 15 had a good shot and ran right by him. They'll hold him right there, and Fairfield will take it back up to the 35-yard line, maybe just beyond.
So just for reference, Dave, Fitzstevens is 3 for 5 field goals on the season. Prior to that, his long was a 25-yarder.
Yeah. The kicking game was not anything to...
and he didn't kick last week. Gruber did.
Yeah, like I said, they've struggled a little bit, bouncing around right and left, but found the swing in that one, and he punched it heavy and hard. So here we go with the Fairfield Indians back on offense for their second time. Not as good or better field position this time than what they started previously on just right at the 36-yard line right in front of us. Mack hands it off again to Booker. Booker going off the left-hand side, and good swarming tackles by the Hawks, and that's what's going to have to happen all night long to keep that running game in check.
Yeah, Dalton Cheney read that nicely. He's only a sophomore, and he brought down Booker, the running back there, fairly easily. So easy recipe for Fairfield. Haven't quite seen too much else. Haven't seen back run yet. Seen Booker a bunch, seen a couple pop passes, but East defense not fooled.
Shotgun, Booker right behind him. As they set up, no one in motion. Fakes the handoff, going to go with a quick throw. Sneaks underneath the defense there, and he's going to gain a yard or two, but boy, he almost got hit for a loss there, Ken.
Yeah, I think East, a few of them were reading that Booker had the ball, but back to the nice job tucking it, but there was no room. The line didn't budge, stayed at home and made the tackle.
And that's going to bring up 3rd and long now for the Indians. Their first 3rd and long of the night.
72 Carter Fosnaw on the tackle for East on that one.
Going to call 3rd and 8 here as back is in the backfield. Man goes in motion. He's
That's
got plenty of time, lots of time, looking for a white shirt, and had one, and just couldn't make the connection there to number 22 for the Indians.
Yeah, that was outstanding protection by the Indian line. Mason Thomas had some room, and back had him. He just missed the connection there, but very impressive line blocking, pass protection, protecting their senior quarterback.
Yeah, he had lots of time there, Ken, and was getting a little concerned when anytime you give a quarterback that much time to throw, usually he's going to hurt you. But the Hawks come out clean there and force the punt here as Fairfield is back.
Number 12, Jonathan Abramson, into punt for Fairfield.
Gets
good spiral.
Off. Comes out, calls for the fair catch down there. That's number 3.
Braxton Thurman with the smart fair catch. A little late on the call. I thought he would have called it a little earlier, but that was a nice, high, tight spiral punt, and that gives the Hawks the ball at their own 38-yard line. Low-scoring game, 3-0. Hawks with the early field goal and the ball. So Fairfield with a new coach this year, Dave. Justin Roden came from Oak Hills.
Sounds right, yeah. And still Coach Kitna here at the helm as these Hawks been under him now for, Ryder hooks, there he goes and breaks one. I told you can't hold this kid down. There's going to be some defenses that hold him. Last week, I think he had about 9 total yards, but this kid's a baller. He works hard, and you'll see right here, he finds a seam and goes and blasts right away. There's something out of nothing.
The difference I see this year on him is he's finding holes with his eyes. Last year he ran with his head down, didn't find the holes.
There
and
he
this
goes
time
again on the right-hand side. Stutters, waits, throws a shoulder, and gets an extra 4 yards on that. And this is the Rider Hooks we know and love.
Yeah, Fairfield's going to have to find an answer quickly, because if he sees that working, they're going to keep going to it and going to it and going to. Right here, he's untouched through the first level of the line. Got a great block from his receiver. I think that was Chris Boyer with the block on the outside.
And like you said, just smart decision.
There's
Sat
Boyer
there,
with the catch.
Waited for the block to be made and went right off of it, threw the shoulder down, and kept on going. So Hawks moving the ball well right now with a little combo pitch and catch.
Boyer with his second catch on the night. This time it's good for 2 yards. Gives the Hawks 2nd and 8 inside the Fairfield 40.
Jordan Kitna up there in the OC booth, mixing up the calls here with the run and the pass. Jordan always with a good game plan. Now Niles looks to the right, left, and finds his big target up there. That would be number 18 again.
Chris Boyer, 3rd time. And that's got to be great for Knudsen. I mean, Boyer's so tall that you can just put the ball up there, and if he gets his hands up in the air, he's got very good hands.
You got a couple of big, tall receivers out there, McFarland and Boyer, and he just can put it up there, and they can go up there and grab it and bring it down. So now back in the shotgun again, looks back, throws a hard left hand over to the left side to number 5.
Yeah, that's Carter Jones. Jones has been in motion several times. I do see a flag.
I think we're going to get
holding on the field, usually where they call holding. And sure enough, holding on the offense. So that'll be brought back. Jones was wide open on that. Everyone else flooded the right-hand side of the field. And you see Jones just hook it to the left.
Good play call, good execution, a little too extra grabbing at the line of scrimmage.
We're inside 1 minute here in the first.
Stripes say holding, start back up. Now the handoff to Rider Hooks left-hand side, looking for another seam there, finds one. Gains a little bit of those 10 yards back, gets to about 7 of them.
Is there another flag on the field, or is that left?
Nope, I think that's a towel. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 15, Ken, from the 35-yard line. So
if you asked me 15 minutes ago if that's field goal range, I would have said no, but based on Fitzsimmons' last kick,
hey,
you do need a few more yards.
Yards, but I think he might have made it from that distance. So Niles back there now, quick handoff to Rider Hook off the left-hand side. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, gets a little more, drags somebody on his back, and he's going to pick up a first down inside the 20-yard line. Rider Hooks.
That's the hardest we've seen Hooks run. I mean, last week, like you said, 9 carries, 9 yards. Stymied by Princeton's defense.
Right there, big hit right there, just peels him off, throws him away, makes a guy miss, carries a couple of them on his back, Ken.
He looks determined. So at the end of the first, Dave, we've got the Lakota Thunderhawks 3 and the Fairfield Indians 0, and we will be back after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lakota East High School, home of the Thunderhawks here at the Hawks Nest. Hawks are up 3-0 against the Fairfield Indians, Ken, in low-scoring game. You said that at the beginning. So far, Hawks are on the move, though, just beyond the midfield now after a big run by Rider Hooks, and it's kind of been the Rider Hooks show here in the last part of the first quarter.
He's running with some inspiration. I mean, I've seen him run hard, but in terms of the way he's coming out to play, he looks inspired. He looks like he wants to make up for last week's game. And Fairfield's they're having a hard time stopping him. We do have an update from Lakota West. Right now it's Middletown 6, Lakota West 0.
Okay. Another low scoring game there as the Hawks got the ball rolling right. Niles finds a big target out there again, number 1-8.
Chris Boyer having a game.
Boyer just pulling them in, and like you said, that's an easy pitch and catch right there when you got that big wide receiver, running great routes and strong arm for the
Hawks,
young quarterback.
Hawks will take that all day long, and Knutsen's very accurate lately. He's finding his receivers. He's finding the open man, making good decisions.
And let me remind everybody out there, this is a sophomore quarterback. This kid's really growing quickly over these last couple of weeks, being at the helm as he hands it off now to Ryder Hooks. Hooks looking left-hand side, and the Indians are all over that one as he picks up a few, and he might have enough just for the first down, which is all they needed, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
We had our first look, Dave, at the shoulder cam. One of the cameramen is using a shoulder cam on the sideline, and right there it is as well. Good angles, extra angles here from Westchester Cable. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tell your friends that this game is streaming live, that you can watch. Hopefully watch the Hawks try and push another one in.
And that is all for FREE, Westchester Cable TV, doing a great job out here. Camera crew's better than most as we go deep into the corner to P.J. McFarland that time. And that's 6 on the board as he's wide open along the back line there, Ken. I don't know what happened with the Indians, how you let him break free, but touchdown Hawks.
And that's a nice little touch pass by Knutsen. Just put it up in the air that only McFarland would be the one to get it. Here he is running his route, angles into the corner, and there's no Indians within 2 or 3 or 4 yards from him. Makes it easy to haul it in. Just need to make sure that he gets 1 foot in bounds in the back of the end zone. Fitzstevens puts the kick through the uprights.
The PAT goes up the middle, and that'll be 9-0. But yeah, Ken, McFarland starts there. You see him on the right-hand side of your screen there coming across. He goes out of view, and then he comes back in, runs a great route along that back line. And the defense just stayed in their zone, and he found the seam. And nice little pitch and catch here coming right into your living room now. Put your hands out and catch it right there along with PJ. Touchdown, Hawks.
Yeah, he definitely made it look easy there. Hawks going up 10-0 on Fairfield. You know, I don't know if Fairfield's in the realm of the letdown game when you beat Lakota West. Not that they were shocked to beat Lakota West. I don't know if they expected it, but they played hard to beat West. It's hard to get back up for the game the week after that you upset an opponent.
And 10 points is all that they scored to win that game and won that on 154 total offensive yards. So what a wild game that was over there that you got to call, and Fairfield comes out on the better end. So that's looking good so far for the Hawks with Fairfield win over West, and right now the Hawks handling the Fairfield Indians, but a lot of football yet to play early here in the second quarter. 10:47 as we get the kickoff deep into the end zone, and that'll be a nice touchback.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was a live ball. If it was still inside the end zone, then anyone could go get that.
Right.
We saw that in the Princeton West game where the West player let the ball die at the end of the first half, just right in the 2-yard line. Princeton guy picked it up, and it was Princeton's ball, 1st and goal at the 2, but that one did land in the end zone there.
Did break the plane. So now there's the sun setting out of our eyes. Beautiful night here as we look out across the western sky of Liberty Township, Westchester. As the Indians set back up, back in the backfield.
Back in Booker.
He hands it off to him. Booker looking for a seam, finds a big opening there. Somebody grabs a hold of his ankle, and the Hawks are able to wrestle him down, but not after he gets about 11, and that'll be a first down.
It's a nice open field tackle by, I think that was Cole Miranda, who wrapped his legs up.
We'll see it right here on the replay. 38 going through 44. Yep.
Oh, that was
Reap?
Yeah, that was Dalton Cheney.
Dalton Cheney.
Big sophomore. Linebacker.
Gets the initial grab and gets some help from his friends to wrestle him down now. Back again. Play action fake. Quick slant. And the Hawks were all over that. Oh, we're going to get a late hanky.
Yeah, Hooks had him wrapped up a little bit there. I saw that from up here. As soon as that pass was thrown, Hooks had his arm on the receiver. Just didn't want the guy to get behind him. So that's going to give the Indians a first down here. We're going to see it right here. Good play action fake. But Hooks had his arm
so that's
wrapped around the receiver.
And they're going to get the PI on that one.
Gives Fairfield the ball at their own 45. 10 minutes left in the second quarter. I know we've said this several times, but what a gorgeous night for football this is.
Just beautiful. Now that the sun's down, cooled off a little bit in the booth. Gets a little steamy up here when the sun's beating on it all day long. And nice and cool now as
Beck's going to tuck and run there.
Fakes it and finds a lot of room on this right-hand side. And good thing number 3 for the Hawks is there, Braxton Thurman, or he was off to the races.
And that's one of Beck's fortes. He likes to tuck and run. It's usually off of a fake handoff there. And Booker becomes the lead blocker for him. And you'll see it right here that follows, well, he kind of goes off to the right there. Booker went to the middle, but had a lot of running room there and gets enough for the Indian first down.
Yeah, if Thurman doesn't get him, there's no one else behind him. So good open field tackle there by number 3 for the Hawks. As we got a issue right now with the officiating crew here, trying to figure something out. Should be first down. 1st and 10, yep. Back is in the shotgun. This time he does hand it to big 38, Booker. Looking around, bouncing around behind that line. And gets caught from behind by number 44.
Yeah, Dalton
Cheney again.
Dalton Cheney's been all over the field there from his middle linebacker position, really playing nice defensive football for the Hawks.
You'll see, Ken, it gets all clogged up there in the hole, and then he tries to bounce around, and Cheney catches him from behind.
Cheney was blocked about 4 yards in the backfield and then released from that block and got him from behind. Nice job.
About a 4-yard pickup. 2nd and 6 for the Indians as they go in motion there with Who's. Now the snap straight back to number 24, and the Hawks eat that all up. Nothing doing there for number 7, Cole Morandon, and some others.
Was Mason Wheeler in there for Fairfield, giving Booker a little spell here, and the Hawks, nice read on the defensive end here.
Go with the quick pitch. That all starts, though, I say, with number 8, holding his defensive end spot there, stretching that out.
Yeah, it's Carson Schroyer there for the Hawks.
Making Wheeler go wide, and he loses a few yards and brings up 3rd and long. It's going to look like about 3rd and 9.5 now as the Indians are in the shotgun, step back, looking for a pass. Nothing going to the right. Almost gets pulled down in the backfield, takes off, scampers up, and slides. Oh, they begged for it and got it.
Yeah, Dom started his slide early enough
that
the Hawks have to lay off there. They just need to get out of the way. And they're trying to make a play. They're assuming he's going to keep running, but that's that's what the quarterback should do. He should start his slide there so he doesn't take the big hit. It's going to tack on an extra 15 on that great run by Dom Back.
Yeah, so that's 30 yards so far now in penalties on between the PI and the. They almost had him down, and then he just went behind Wheeler, slid, and he points it out right there. I see this look here, Ken. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a vicious play. It's not a hard hitter by any matter, but that's still the rule where he did lean into him as opposed to getting out of the way.
Yep.
So that puts the Fairfield in the red zone here.
Yep, on the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Double backs back there in the backfield. Now we go a little weird motion there, and Booker's going to get ate up, but he keeps fighting and wiggles his way back to the line of scrimmage. But, boy, the Hawks had him initially hit about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Carter Fosnew again clogging up that hole, so there's no room for
here's the play before.
Back's run again.
And I think he's trying to get out of his way right there and just kind of puts a hand on him to touch him. Of course, you don't need to do that in high school. He's down as soon as he hits the turf, but
it's hard to pull up from doing that, but that's
like you said, you're expecting him to run, and when he goes down quick like that, so could have gone either way, and unfortunately for the Hawks, they get called, so now it's was 2nd and long, and Wheeler trying to go off that left-hand side as they keep mixing back here now, Ken, between Wheeler and Booker, 24 and 38 in the Indian backfield, and this time nice play there by number 7, stepping up on this from his corner position, Cole Morandon.
Yeah, Booker's back in
Yes.
That's,
nope, that's Wheeler.
I don't know if Booker got shaken up on one of the earlier plays. He was in their last down, so East is going to take a timeout here and kind of regroup.
3rd and 8 now on the 13-yard line. And that's probably a good time if you're not set, right? This is a big 3rd down that you're trying to hold the Indians to field goal here or even knock them back a little bit. So big play here for the Hawks to see if they can keep the Fairfield out of the end zone and keep this a 7-point differential with 6:56 left here in the second quarter.
Fairfield most likely within field goal range. In fact, their kicker did have the game winner against West last week, right in the 4th quarter. See if we can see how long that field goal was. Look it up here online.
So Coach Kitna, after he calls the timeout there quickly, all with the orange. I see everybody with the orange hats and orange shoes tonight. I'm not too for sure what that's all on, as most of the coaching staff is sporting the orange hats today. As back is in the shotgun, and looks like after that timeout that, nope, Wheeler stays in there. He's looking deep into the end zone. They're going to be able to wrap him up right there, and they're going to get the sack just when they needed one. And that's going to be number 88 for the Hawks.
88, Cody Doyle, sophomore. Another player that plays both ends. He's a tight end and he plays some defense, but seeing the Hawks 88 out there.
Got another 88 up here with us hanging out for the day, huh?
Yeah, we're going to put 88 on the mic the next time the Hawks get the ball. Former Lakota East wide receiver Evan Yablonski is going to take the mic for a series here.
So they're going to have to set up for the field goal, Ken, from the 22-yard line. That's going to be a 32-yarder, and that's not going anywhere. As, I see more hankies coming out. As
officials are going to consult on that.
I think he got a hand on that, right?
Was the penalty before or after a tip? So running into the kicker there. The East crowd is claiming that it got tipped before that happened.
Yeah, that looks like he tipped it. I don't know. The Coach Kitna's definitely not happy about it. Referee's trying to say, no, it didn't hit his hand. We'll see here the replay maybe on that previous kick.
So Fairfield's going to go for it now? Are they lined up to?
Nope, they're going to go for another field goal.
Oh, they're there. Yep.
And
they're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. So kicker was out there trying to figure out where he wanted to spot that ball. I don't know if we got this replay. Here we go.
See it again there.
This is the previous play, I think, where they got the sack as 88 comes in and grabs back. Now here it is, Ken.
Here's the play. So coming off the left end, and I don't know if they're saying that he got him.
So I think they're saying
the ball was tipped.
The guy that hit him was 7 and didn't get the tip. It was the lineman. Here we go. You'll see coming off the end. Little wobbly snap. 7 is there, so he doesn't get the tip. It hits somebody in the line of scrimmage. So they're saying it wasn't off the player that was coming in. He did not get any of the ball. It actually was a worm burner hitting somebody at the line of scrimmage. As now,
so Hunter Gagan's going to have
another bad snap, and that's going to be another. Looked like it was blocked. So again, another little wobbly snap and hold there, and the Indians come up 0 for 2 on the field goal.
Yeah. So that's going to give Hawks the ball. I'm going to turn the mic over, Dave, here to former East graduate Evan Yablonski, another 88.
So there's the kick right there. We'll see the replay where it gets blocked down, and the Hawks are going to take the ball right here. Evan, welcome, as the Hawks are all over that from the line of scrimmage, knocking that field goal down 2 in a row there. Look, a little wobbly snap, too, on both of those. So the Hawks will set back up here, 1st and 10 from about their 11-yard line, as Niles will hand it off to Ryder Hooks, finds a little hole, makes a cut, has a big run up the right-hand side, and gets up and over the 32. So Hawks with a big first play to get them out of deep in their own territory.
Man, Ryder Hooks is just so explosive. Just finds a hole right up the sideline and then explodes for another 10, 12 yards past.
So offense looks a little different than when you were playing here, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Even as you can see here, the runs that were called back in the day are now screens and slips and all kinds of short passes.
I think we're going to say there was a turnover. So I thought he was down. It looks like they're saying he wasn't, and Fairfield saying they took the ball, and it looks like the Stripes are saying yeah. So whole lot different from that option offense here. You see there's a quick out right here to number 5. He tucks it pretty well. Going upfield, switches hands right there, and the ball definitely comes out. So
yeah,
tough
Carter
play
Jones
there.
trying to get a few extra yards after the catch, and ball security gets popped out, and short drive for the Hawks.
Short drive, very short. So after the big gain by Ryder Hooks, who got the Hawks out of deep in their own territory, and unfortunate switching of hands and not securing the ball, is now the Indians try to go up the middle again with Booker. And he's going to get stopped after a very minuscule gain, maybe a yard, and bring up second long. So, yeah, we're going back to talking about the option versus what the open air play that Coach Kitna has here. Typical drop back quarterbacks or shot, everything coming out of the shotgun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a different ball game now in the GMC. In the 2000s, 2010s, you had maybe 4 or 5 teams in the league all running wing T and option offense, and now we're seeing more throws than runs.
So it would have been an offense you would have been loved to be receiving on, huh?
Absolutely. It would have been fun.
So Booker going back up through the middle for the Indians, and the Hawks are starting to zero in on that. And
the Hawks have had some good run defense here today. We've given up a couple plays, but even with that 3-man front that they seem to run, we've got some good traction in the middle, and you see guys converging in the ball. Still a good pickup for the Indians, but now we got third and just nervous enough.
So, Evan, this is some football you got to watch for 4 years down at that little school south here called Alabama, right?
Yeah, small school. Not many people know of it, but heard they got some good ball down there.
Yeah, some good power offense out there. There's a quick throw. Oh, man!
Wow. Number 24 or 29 on defense went right through the fingertips and right into the hands of the Fairfield Indians for a score.
Talk about the football gods being on your side right there, as back throws a quick out, and 29 was standing right there for the big INT, but it slips through his hands, and sometimes it just goes your way, and it looks like Kenyon Burns was in that right spot and takes it in for 6 for the Indians, as we'll get the PAT here. There's the hold, there's the kick. That one gets up and in.
Wow, a big swing right before the half.
So here's the play. Play option,
swing.
Quick throw. 29 is right there off his shoulder and bounces right into the hands of Burns, number 1 for the Indians. Here it is coming right at you in your living room.
He's in great position to make this play. Trails the wide receiver, just goes right through his hands.
And hits his right shoulder and bounces up and over right into Burns' hands, and he walks it in for 6. And that time the Indian kicking crew figured it out for the PAT. So that brings us up to 7-10 now with 4:15 left in the second quarter here. And we got a ball game.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We'll see if the Hawks can get it back rolling here.
So after a couple of mistakes, we're seeing some penalties, a couple of bad breaks here on the miscue that we just watched, hitting off the shoulder for typical INT there, which would have really flipped the field and kept the Indians out. The Hawks would have been able to start driving again and maybe put some more points on the board before the half. And, boy, I think if the Hawks can put another 3 or 7 up, it really changes this whole game, 13 or 17-0, but now with a 3-point margin as the Indians pooch one over to number 7. He gets it, goes lateral, east-west, doesn't gain a lot of yardage for number 7 there.
Yeah,
Miranda.
Hunter Gagin, we've seen him have some troubles with the with the kicking game here today, but that smart play, pooching it out to the 20-25 yard line, kind of eliminates some of the explosiveness that East has on the return game.
Absolutely.
And you saw it pay off for him here.
Yeah, Miranda was looking. They had a lot of green on this side, just couldn't get around and turn it upfield, and probably a return of about a yard there. So the Hawks will start off at the 25-yard line as Niall goes into the shotgun as usual, looking, hands it off to Ryder Hook. He's going up through the middle, gets a good push from his offensive line after he gets in there.
Yeah, the big boys up front gave him a nice push, and what could have been a 1-2 yard gain ended up being a 6-yard, 5-yard push on first down.
2nd and 4 here, plenty of time. Hawks got a couple of timeouts still left in their pockets, so we'll see how Coach Kitna's, plural, will work this offense coming forward. Now another handoff to Ryder Hooks, finds a hole, finds another, breaks a tackle, gets up and over the 40-yard line, and it's a first down for the Hawks. Now we'll see if there's any sense of energy or urgency here, Evan, as they set the clock. Those clock stops, all right, to move those chains for a minute. And the Stripes got that set quick, and clock's running, and the Hawks are now just walking up to the ball. So 3:30 or 3:29, 23 and counting, as in the backfield, hands it off again to Ryder Hooks up the middle.
It's no secret what the Hawks are doing here.
No.
Give it to your best player and run some of that clock down, try to get a score before the end of the half.
So successful so far, getting good chunks on these runs as the clock's ticking down right at the 3-minute mark here with 2nd and 5. And we'll see what the Hawks will do, if they'll put it in the air or go back to Ryder Hooks and ride that train one more time.
Number 5 in motion.
Deep in motion, almost like an option play. Woo! There's a guy shot through the backfield and missed him, and he's going to be able to take something and turn it into some positive gain and get about 2 yards and bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, Carter Jones with a nice play there to turn something out of nothing. See, we got some penetration in the backfield, and a quick jump cut and spin move lets him get upfield and get some positive yardage.
So 3rd and about 3, maybe 4-ish. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 right here. So Hawks are going to set up, see if we're going to go up. There's a jump, and that's what they needed right there on the hard count.
Good discipline by the Hawks here.
So I don't know if that was designed, but I did see the sophomore quarterback kind of give a hard count there, and he did draw the Indians off. That'll give him a first down. Reset the chains, but the clock is running, so something the East's coaching staff will have to keep a close eye on with 2 in their pocket. As empty backfield now, as the sophomore quarterback looks, finds wide open in the middle, going right back to 0-5, who coughed up the ball in that last drive, and the young quarterback trusts his receivers and hits him right down the middle.
Absolutely. Carter Jones finding the soft spot in that Fairfield zone right up the middle and gets some nice positive yardage after the catch. Sets the Hawks up well going into their half of the field.
And I don't think he was going to unsecure it that time. He tucked it hard there, coming up with the last turnover. So looking good now on the 32-yard line, almost in field goal range. There's a razzle-dazzle flea flicker, and there's the sophomore quarterback, whips it into the corner. Oh, and I think it... Did it hit him? I think it hit the defender. The fans are wanting pass interference, which looked like it from here in that far right-hand corner, but I think we're going to see, I think that ball hit him, hits the defender.
It looks like it. The defender was in decent position, but I'm not sure if he got that head turned around. You see the 1, the 2, the flea flicker, and the lob out to the wide receiver. He's in decent position, but did he play the ball? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't think he played the ball. I think his head was back, going right back to the same play almost, and they're going to get a touchdown. So no razzle-dazzle, just they had to see something in the booth there. Jordan saw something on that right side.
Absolutely.
And he went right back on that same side, on the same DB, and just threw it out there, and that little run under and catch, and a touchdown.
Kitna and company must have liked that matchup, man. Get it to one of your best athletes on offense in Carter Jones, and a great ball, a jump ball, and make the possession play, and that turns into 6 for the Hawks.
Big score right there for Lakota here with 1:21 going into the half. They set up for the PAT. Looks like it's up and it's good.
Great position there by the Hawks. Makes it 17-7 with the Fairfield Indians having a chance to come back and get some more points, but not a lot of time left in this first half.
So there he played it very well. The defender had his head turned around, but boy, Evan, I'm impressed with the sophomore quarterback's arm. Very strong and spot on, right?
Absolutely.
His wide receiver makes a great play there, number 1.
You've been seeing more of these outside shoulder balls where you kind of make the wide receiver turn his body and shield it from the defender so that you can get more possession on that ball as opposed to just a true jump ball on the inside.
Coach Kitten has got to be happy with that. And like I said, great adjustment by his wide receiver there. Something you're used to, right? Making a few adjustments on the ball, catching it there. So great throw, great play, great catch. And, hey, it was a pleasure having you on the air for a while, Evan. Glad that you could step up in here.
Absolutely.
Pops out a little bit.
Happy to be here, and it's fun to see these Hawks play an exciting brand of football.
Absolutely.
Here in Liberty Township.
Awesome. So it's 17-7 with 1:21 as the Hawks go for the kickoff. They're going to look to put it deep into the end zone. It's going to roll on out. So that'll be another touchback as the Hawks kicking game all of a sudden alive.
So good to be back in the booth, Dave. Did I miss anything?
No, not much, not much. I mean, interception, a fumble, a touchdown, another touchdown. But, you know, what do you mean, right?
Yeah, some excitement there the last 5 minutes of that second quarter. A couple exchanging touchdowns, some action on some field goals, some blocking, some penalties, and back to a 10-point game, just the way I left it.
Yeah, just the way that you left it, right? It was close there with a 3-point game after the turnover and the Hawks going down and some penalties. So now if the defense can hold this last 1:21, keep this 10-point margin going into the half, Coach Kidna would be a happy camper with that. So Fairfield's back in the shotgun, back looking around, back's just running for his life and just throws it out of bounds as he gets out of the pocket to save the big sack that would have been.
Smart decision by back. You don't want to make any mistakes here deep in your own territory, knowing that you can run the ball a few times and run some clock. Hawks do have 2 timeouts left, as does Fairfield, so they could force Fairfield to punt if they get 2 more stops here, but I can't imagine Fairfield's going to do anything too aggressive here from their own 20.
Yeah, but we'll see. Like you said, that was a play where he had to throw it out of bounds, stops the clock. Advantage Hawks right here. So with 2 timeouts, if they don't move the ball here, it will be interesting if Coach Kitna takes one of those TOs. As back is back there. Quick throw out. That'll be another incompletion. And that's going to make it 3rd and long.
Yeah, and that does stop the clock there, Dave. So Hawks are, if they get one more stop here, going to have the ball in very good field position here after a punt.
So we had holding on that play too. So in lieu of giving them another shot at a down here, Coach Kidna wisely declines that one, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10 instead of 2nd and 20. So now I do think with him declining that penalty, I think Coach Kitna's thinking about, all right, if they can't do anything here, if they run, I'm going to use a timeout.
Yeah, he wants to get the ball back and gain a few yards after. If you force Fairfield to punt, you don't need a whole lot for
3rd and 10.
Stevens' field goal attempt here.
3rd and 10 now for the Indians. Are going to go wide to the left with back, and he got racked at the line of scrimmage.
Early indications are that's a hold on Fairfield.
Another hold, yep.
Assume that. Yep, coach is going to decline that and force a punt
too, and bring up 4th and 9 after he gained barely a yard on that and then got hit really hard. We'll see here, Ken. Back fakes the handoff, keeps it, goes right, and boom. Number 5 again stepping up right there. Carter Jones laying the wood on.
Well, a lot of these Hawks playing both ways tonight.
Coach Kitna there calling timeout, setting everybody up on the special teams of what he wants.
So
as the punting team is going to come out for Fairfield, it'll be punt return. I think Coach Kittner was confirming this timeouts right there.
Should have one left according
Should
to
have
my
two,
records.
yeah.
So John Abramson is the kicker. He had a good kicking game last week against West.
Hawks just one back deep here to return as it gets nice air and gets underneath it. Calls for the fair catch. A little late again, Ken, but he's going to come out with this with a penalty for getting a hit, but he did call the fair catch.
Yeah, that's going to be kick catch interference, but
yeah,
he waited quite a while, and then he kind of acted like he was running with it. I don't know if he misread the ball up in the air, but he had to find a way to get under it, and then he got hit. So
a small but mighty
the officials are going to have a conversation whether if you attempt to run.
Well, I think his momentum was taking him that way, so Braxton Thurman, the small but mighty back and returner. So they are going to call it kick catch interference. You're right, he did this on the last punt. He waited pretty late to throw the arm up there, and then the ball drifted a little on him, and he caught it, and his momentum was taking him left to right, east to west, and they're going to say since he didn't try to, I guess, advance it upfield, they're going to call kick catch interference, and the Hawks are going to get a few extra yards out of that.
That puts them in Indian territory here. So 56 seconds left, one timeout for the Hawks, and Carter goes in motion. Knutson drops back.
Nice setup for the nice screen play to Ryder Hooks. Gets one, bounces off another one. He's going to go down the left-hand side. He may go all the way. Touchdown, Hawks!
What a fantastic job staying on his feet after he got hit. Little screen pass there, and he was hit twice in the backfield. Once on the initial catch, and then once as he went around the left end, but stayed on his feet, stayed in bounds for the score.
Incredible. This kid, I love this kid. I'm his biggest fan. I call him the little Jimmy Brooks from the back in the Bengals day, and that's just the way he runs, man. He hits, he bounces, and he goes. You got to wrestle this kid to the ground, or he's going to keep moving.
What a phenomenal play to stay on his feet. It looked like he was rumbling, stumbling, and then he stayed on his feet. Then he got hit again, and then stayed on his feet again. So
Fitzstevens puts it up through the uprights for the PAT.
There it is. So you see the lineman drop back, indication of a screen. And right here,
gets a nice
he gets
block.
Hit, stays on his feet, switches hands. Great downfield block there. And easily into the end zones. But right here, he should have been down exactly right here.
But there, and number 8 tries to give him a shot. Yeah, they see all that on Saturdays and Sundays.
And look at one with the block,
where you don't wrap up, right? Just give that shoulder and give that shot. You see it on Saturdays and Sundays, and it just doesn't happen when you have a kid that has low center of gravity like Ryder Hooks, strong legs. Man, he just bounced off of that, like you said, and just zipped down that sideline.
Say gave him a great downfield block so that he can get the rest of the way in the end zone.
Yeah, that's 2 great plays by Jaden now. He makes the adjustment on the catch for the touchdown on the previous score, and then big in this play with a good block. And the O-line, too, right? They were down there. That's what sprung that initially was going to be a good gainer and probably put them in field goal range as Fitzsimmons here hits the PAT, going for that coffin corner again for another.
Nice job of finding the angle in the end zone there.
And that'll be another touchback.
Hawks just need to prevent the long strike from Fairfield.
So 24-7 here. We thought they were going to hold that 10-point lead, and now they jump out to a 17-point lead with 45 seconds to go. Still sitting on both of those timeouts, Ken. Hawks are, and so are the Indians. 1.
I believe Hawks have 1 and the Indians have 2.
So 45 seconds left as we're waiting for before the halftime, and the Indians, I think, are just going to be happy to handle that ball off, and they're going to get stopped for a loss.
Yeah, we'll see if the Indians just take a knee here to go into halftime and regroup a little bit.
So 26 seconds and counting. It doesn't look like either team is interested in stopping the clock here. And after that big run by Ryder Hooks, I think Coach Kitten is happy to walk in with this 17-point lead.
Now Fairfield does not have to snap the ball. There's only there's 14 on the play clock.
Yep.
So they don't have to snap it, and that's what they're going to choose to do.
I think that's what they're going to do right here, and just let this clock run out for the end of this first half. It's your Hawks 24, Fairfield 7. We'll be right back after the halftime.
Kings and queens preside, while jokers run wild through a dynamic, game-inspired satirical setting. Mozart, Shostakovich, Pink Floyd, and Jethro Tull established a sophisticated repertoire and sonic personality for an adventurous production of Chaos in the Court. Chaos in the Court features music from Queen of the Night aria from the Magic Flute by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Ballet Suite No. 1, Movement 6, Gallop by Dmitri Shostakovich. The Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd. And Sick as a Brick by Jethro Tull. Tonight's performance includes the following featured musicians. On flute, Caitlin Smith. Ethan Apsley on trumpet. Caden Baker, also on trumpet. Lucas Njot on mellophone. Christian Coons on trombone, along with Riley Ince and Nolan Soper. On tenor saxophone is Adam McSue, and euphonium is Aaron McLean. The marching Thunderhawks are led on the field by drum majors Irene Antieri, Savannah Craigley, Blair Rutherford, and Sarah Speck. So sit back and enjoy the chaos in the court with the Lakota East Marching Band. And to its middle, the Lakota East Thunderhawks are under the direction of Rob Tennis and Andrew Desmond with assistance from Jeremy Oliver on visuals. We have Rusty Mitchell, Colton Thomas, and Hiram Dodge with the woodwinds. Kayla Ellis and Mitch Bowling on brass. Matt Hahn and Ryan.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hawks Nest here after the halftime. Ken, here's some highlights from the first half here. We saw McFarland in the end zone catching a ball there. We saw the muff play there off the DB's shoulder, and then great adjustment here by Jaden to catch that touchdown. And then here's what ended up with the last score of the first half. Great blocking, great running, great downfield blocking. Just a team effort here as Ryder Hooks takes it into the end zone. And that's how we got to 24-7 so far in that first half.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's a little more high scoring than we had anticipated. Hawks doing a nice job of having the big play. It's not the slow, methodical offense that we're used to. It's more of a big strike with Ryder Hooks playing incredible football right now.
Yeah, Ryder coming off, as we've mentioned a few times, only 9 rushing yards last week with 9 attempts. And don't have any halftime stats yet, but I'd say he's well over that in the first half of this game. So
now in the second half, East has to play good defense. They need to make sure they don't allow the big play from Fairfield. They've controlled Dominic back in the backfield. Booker has not broken one free yet. So as long as they make Fairfield slowly move down the field, make sure that they don't have the big strike,
right,
East should.
And really the only big strike they did have was the touchdown play, which should have been an INT, right? So bad break there for the Hawks, hitting off of his shoulder and dropping right in that guy's bucket for a touchdown. So Hawks are going to get the ball here at the opening of the half here and really have an opportunity to blow this open right here on this first drive and really demoralize the Indians here on this first drive, or see what else happens and let them maybe sneak back in as Ryder Hooks takes that into the end zone for a touchback, and the Hawks will set up office here at the 20-yard line.
Dave, some teams call it the butterfly schematic. They sort of spread the field out a little bit, and they get that play when the other team isn't expecting it. So they set up, and then butterfly, they spread their wings out and go with Hooks off the end there.
Coach Kitna coming right back with a more dose of Ryder Hooks. Takes a little one under the chin there, but not after he picked up a few yards to start this second half, 24-7. There goes Ryder Hooks up, gets hit a little high there underneath the chinny chin. Number 24. Now Niles in the backfield, motion. There's going to be another quick handoff up the middle to Brooks, finds a little seam, squirms his way up for a positive gain of a couple of more yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And you said earlier, Dave, Niall Knudsen being a sophomore, really doing a nice job of leadership here on this offense. The East Hawks just held up an Alabama logo on the sideline, so I'm not sure what that signals, but it's got to be some kind of call that they want to go in, and there's Knudsen back to pass. He's going to run.
Shakes him off. Okay, looks for some green coming up the middle. Might get enough for the first down, and I think he's going to get over to the 30-yard line to the 31, and that is going to be a first down. Hawks.
Yeah, good job moving the chains, drops back. Good coverage by Fairfield, and Knudsen doesn't see anyone down the field, so he tucks it and runs. Gets enough for the first down.
While you took your little respite and Evan was on, we were talking about that, the sophomore quarterback in there from Hawk. I'm really impressed with his arm strength, Ken. Really showing how strong he is back there as a sophomore, whipping that ball around, finds Ryder Hooks in the flat on the right-hand side. Ryder grabs it, tucks to do the rest for a first down, Hawks.
He is having an outstanding game. He was WCPO or Inquirer Player of the Week 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he's certainly playing like he wants that accolade again.
I think he had over 200 yards, total yards in that game. So while we get the first down here, we'll wait till after this play. We got a couple of scores around the league here to share with everybody watching out there in Hawks Nation as Niles goes back. Quick throw, probably a good idea that one got broken up as Jaden did not have anything in front of him. But as we look around the league right now, West 13 and the Middletown Middy 6, Sycamore 3, Coleraine 27, Hamilton 17, Oak Hills 28. So the Highlanders stepping it up this year, and then Princeton only up 7 over Mason, 14-7 right now. So that's your look around the GMC. And we'll come back with a few more scores in the GCL here. As there's a big throw over the middle to number 1-8.
Yeah, there's Knutson right over the middle to Chris Boyer. Chris had 4 catches early, and that's another one. Nice big target that he could find down the field.
And that's
didn't gain a whole lot, but enough to inch the ball forward a little bit. About, call it 4 yards.
Looks
on the
like
catch.
he wanted to hit McFarland on that off the end there, and it just wasn't there and goes across the middle. That's a tough catch there for Boyer. Hangs in there, holds on to it, doesn't cough it up, gets positive yards, and makes this now a manageable 3rd and 5 at midfield from the 50. Looking to go deep again. It's got him. Jaden, he's right there on the mark, and a big catch and throw for the Hawks.
That's outstanding concentration by Jaden Say. That ball was a little bit overthrown, but Say just kept on running and got those big orange paws out there to haul the ball in, and didn't worry about, a lot of receivers try and make sure they can get extra yards, but he just knew, make the catch first, and if I go down, that's a huge play for Jaden Say.
Coming right at you in your living room right here, Jaden Say makes the adjustment, gets behind all 3 DBs there for the Indians, hauls that in, the senior wide receiver having a night so far. As we go back to some more Ryder hooks up the middle. He dodges, he moves, he's still going. He's fighting. Now the big O-line gets in there to help for the push, and he's going to take it inside the 5-yard line. And that should be 1st and goal.
Ryder Hook's refusing to go down there. Gets the handoff, just keeps his feet moving. We do have a Hawk laying on the ground with a little injury there, but look at Ryder move his legs there, and he takes 2 Fairfield Indians, another Fairfield Indian, a third
About
Fairfield
5 or
Indian
6
with
of
him,
them.
and still won't go down, still stays on his feet when the whistle blows and gives him forward progress to about the 2.
So I think that might be Carter Fossenot down. Hopefully he's all right. He was away from the play. Looked like he maybe got the wind knocked out of him. I thought he was grabbing his knee there. Yeah, there's that left hand. And hopefully the young man's okay. Beacon out there with him. Again, can't talk enough about our medical staff here that is provided in the Lakota School District by the Beacon folks. And
they do a fantastic job. Coach out there taking a look
Coach
as well.
Kidna.
You know, he shows as much care for players as I've seen a coach in this area care for his players.
As he calls out for some guys to come out and help out. And I can't see, he goes down right there, Ken, on the far right-hand side. Kind of.
Can't tell if somebody rolled on him.
I don't know if somebody rolled
or
on his ankle or. Ryder comes through there. There he is right there. And he just goes.
Yeah, I think Hooks kind of hit him and he fell backwards. Just kind of banged his knee on the ground a little bit.
So that's actually number 52, I believe.
62.
Is that 6'2" or 5'2"? I can't tell from here. 62, you're
right. I think that's Nana Bafor.
Yep. As he gets some help coming off. And hopefully that young man will be all right. So as they collect him up, a couple of GMC scores. Elder 13, St. X 0. And this one hurts me to say, Moeller up 21-0 over my Lancers right now. So got to have the Lancers come back here on Big Mo. So Hawks set back up, looking for Ryder Hooks. Ryder Hooks tosses it up. A little change up right there. Ryder Hooks is catching it. He's DBing, and he's throwing the ball now.
What a creative play there from the Hawks. You've got Knutson, who looked like he was going to run around the end and then pitch it to Hooks. And obviously, the Fairfield defense thinks Hooks is going to run, and Hooks just flips it up in the air to Jaden Say. And glad to see Say, because he made the huge catch down the field. Glad to see him get the reward in the end zone for the 30th point for the Hawks, and the Hawks are rolling right now.
Got the Liberty Bell over there yanging and danging, and there's the kick up and good for Fitzsimmons. And yeah, Ken, what a play there. That looked like it was going to be a dead stop for Ryder Hooks. You'll see here a nice toss. The defense reacts, and he throws a nice little spiral, and Jaden gets the reward for a touchdown. And he's going to get 2 out of the night now. And boy, that's a tough catch. That looks easy, and you know that's a tough catch when you're out there on an island wide open all by yourself, and you see this ball come flipping at you. So
yeah, I don't want to drop that one.
Coach
so there's
Kidna.
Coach Kidna exuding some confidence there. Hawks have not played like this in a while, and I'm sure it feels good to get some points on the board here at home at the Hawks Nest.
31-7, and boy, we just talked about them getting the ball there at the beginning of that first half, and what would they do with it? They got an opportunity to kind of blow this open or move the ball and turn it over to the Indians, and they march right down with the big strike, and then after the injury, the trick play there for 7. As
Lakota East did score 31 on September 12th against Hamilton, scored 35 in a loss against Mason, and scored 35 in a win against Centerville. So one more score, one more touchdown, and they do have a season high.
And Fitzstevens this time puts it right down on the 2-yard line, forcing the Indians to return that ball, and they only get it back up to about the 16-yard line. So that plus minus pays off for the Hawks, as the Indians will start right at their 16-yard line as they break the huddle on the sidelines and come out.
Want to shout out here again to our crew here at Westchester Cable, our volunteer camera folk who do an outstanding job. Best seat in the house. Like the button there, subscribe on YouTube. You can stream on Roku. Glad to have you guys with us here tonight watching the Fairfield Indians at Lakota East Thunderhawks.
All the free sports you can get in the Westchester area between Lakota East and Lakota West, provided by your Westchester Cable TV. None better. So the Indians start off with a run there to number 24. Wheeler goes over the left-hand side. Not much going, Ken. You see here on the replay, just a quick flip over there to 24. And the Hawks are starting to swarm and swallow up these runs right and left. As the defense is set, the offense is ready to go.
8 minutes left here in the third quarter here on a beautiful Friday night for football.
Friday night lights glowing here as Back hands it off again to Wheeler. And Ken, I think you're right. I haven't seen anything or any injury report, but boy, we were getting a heavy dose of Booker in that first quarter. And somewhere in the second quarter, the Indians have really gone over to Wheeler, and he's taken most of the snaps now as Booker comes out of the game right there, I believe. Came out.
This just in from across the Swordsville Westchester line. Middletown 13, Lakota West 13, third quarter.
Knot it all up.
So there's Dom back in shotgun again, 3rd and 6. He's going to drop back to pass.
Oh, he's going to get it right there. Oh, P.J. McFarland with a big opportunity. I think the ball got knocked loose as P.J. comes in and swarms back up, but I saw lots of hankies coming out.
Yeah, there's
and I don't know if there's holding.
I don't know if McFarland got part of Back's face mask when he
That's what I was afraid to say
pursuit.
too, right? Because he did duck underneath him, and PJ's got that long wingspan. So,
yep. He grabbed it trying to bring him down. It was not intentional. It's just a product of trying to reach his hand up.
Boy,
but
TJ
McFarland,
beats
nice
his man
inside
real
move there.
quickly. That should be a 5-yard variety, right? Just touching it.
Yeah, he barely.
And unfortunately, the fumble will be reversed here, as that was going to set the Hawks up real well on the doorstep there, as PJ just comes flying in. Yep, grazes the face.
Grabbed it, let it go. Like we had earlier in the game, where it is the rule. Just when Back slid earlier.
But I think they gave him the 15 variety on that one, because they're going to have the ball out on the 34. So what looked like just a 5-yard, they gave him the 15 and sets them up for 1st and 10 at the 34 as they go over that left-hand side again, and the Hawks keep being there as the
Dom hands it off again to Wheeler, and Wheeler tries to see if there's anything on the left side, but
big number 72's over there for the Hawks.
Yeah, Carter Fosnaugh and Cole Miranda there with the stop. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9 for Fairfield. And Fairfield needs to get something going. They need a little bit of rhythm here, a little bit of momentum.
Really, the Hawks have bailed out every one of their drives on either a some type of penalty, and so far the penalty is only real good positive yardage they've gotten here as Wheeler comes up through the middle, finds a little bit of space. He's going to get a couple of yards up to about the 40-yard line.
That's one of the first positive carries for Wheeler, gets about 5 there, and he's limping a little bit. He's taking a lot of hits there, so, again, we haven't seen Dombeck run as much as he's probably capable of. I don't know if he took a lot of hits last week, so I don't know.
And he had that one big run where he slid down, and they got the extra 15 off of that one. That was probably his biggest run so far of the night. So as he sets up in the shotgun, he's going to hand that one off again, and the Hawks are going to grab that one and going to force a big 4th down decision here for the Indians, as number was at 4 or 9. That was number 9 for the Hawks, steps up.
Yeah,
Beckett Bush.
And the Fairfield Indians are going to punt the ball to the Hawks.
And 88 in there again, too. Cody Doyle.
So with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, Hawks are going to get the ball again.
And I think the Hawks weren't ready for this 4th down. And Coach Kitten is going to have to burn a timeout, as the right personnel, I don't think, were on the field, which can't make him happy on that.
Yeah, special teams, you hate to burn a timeout. Now, of course, in a game like this, most likely it's not going to matter as much as if you burned a timeout in a close game on a special teams play. But, yeah, you still, that's something that drives a coach crazy, because certainly. So you see the stands there, the fluorescent luau-based stands there, some construction crew, I believe.
And when you're 5 games into the season, you hope you got all those bugs worked out too, right?
Yep, that's the Fairfield crowd there, Fairfield student section, showing the construction crew. And there's the Hawks luau-themed crowd. I don't see any beach balls up in there. I would have expected a beach ball or two to be floating up in the crowd there.
There's the PA guys rocking a little Aussie right there. Not quite the Hawaiian vibe. So Fairfield's go for it here. And the Hawks step up, and big 88 again, 2 plays in a row. I thought they were going to set up for the punt.
Yeah, Cody Doyle there read that nice. I don't know if their offense was lined up there.
Originally, it looked like they were lined up for the punt until Coach Kittner called the timeout.
No, there's Dom.
They're straight up going to go for it on 4th down here. 4th and 2, what do you do? And the Hawks ate that up and are going to reverse the field here.
So Fairfield giving the Thunderhawks the ball in Fairfield territory.
Yeah. I thought for sure they would punt that away, this being, relatively early in the third here. They were kind of in that iffy spot in the field, right? And I guess they thought they had enough gusto to make it, and they went back to Booker on that one and came up short.
So Newton started empty backfield, but then Ryder Hooks goes back with them.
Bounces right, bounces off again, goes north and south, and puts his head down and gains a couple of yards here. And I think we're going to see a large dose now of Ryder Hooks, and if he can continue to get 4, 5, 6 yards a carry and keep moving those chains and let that clock just run now.
I just got a text, Dave, from one of Fairfield's freshman coaches who claims that Ryder Hook's a very talented young man, and this guy knows his football, so when he says that, you got something special in Ryder Hooks.
Yeah, going both ways, playing running back and D-back, and we saw what he can toss it up there for the touchdown. So all he needs is a little TD himself down there, and let Coach Kittner let him run one in. So as Hooks takes it again, and like we said, Ken, right there, not a big run, but 5, 6 yards, enough to move the chains.
And he's consistent, Dave. I mean, he's a workhorse. Gets the bulk of the carries there, and wants to be in the game. We saw him on defense earlier. He's got the energy there, and here's a counterplay to say.
He's going to get rewarded a little bit here with the end around, and tucks it nicely and gets a good gain, about 7 yards.
There's been some creative plays from Lakota East tonight. You had a flea flicker earlier in the second quarter. You had that counter. You had the Ryder Hooks touchdown pass.
Big, great block out there by P.J. McFarland to let him turn that corner up. So
it's interesting that you run those trick plays. Like, I don't know if you'd want to save those in your repertoire for a game that's closer, but
yeah,
the boys are having fun, and They're playing well right now, so Knutson back to pass.
Knutson looking to throw. Yeah, he gets ripped down from
Oh,
behind.
he dropped it.
And ball's loose. Not sure who's going to come up with that, but it looks like the Indians are able to grab it just as the Hawks were starting to penetrate the Indian side of the field to really maybe blow this thing open.
Yeah, Hosea Leonard there.
And
after the ball was knocked out of Knutson's hand, Hosea Leonard just flattened himself on top of the ball, giving Fairfield a little new hope here.
Yeah, he gets out of there pretty quick and then just gets spun around, and big number 11 throws his weight on there, and the sophomore quarterback coughs it up.
Yeah, Joseph Trayor with the strip sack.
Can't be happy with that because he knew he was going to get points here, right? They were just knocking on the door there, probably in field goal range already, and if not, looking for 6 more and really blowing this thing out. So defense is back out there, back in the backfield, hands it off to Booker, and he struggles to get a yard or 2.
So Booker back in. We thought maybe he was hurt, but they must do a lot of switching off with Booker and Wheeler. But Fairfield has not tried to pass down the field. They haven't tried any of their wide receivers here.
Yeah, they haven't tried to stretch the field at all. Again, the only really long pass play was the fluke interception that hit off and bounced right in their hands. So,
yeah, I would have expected Fairfield to take a couple more shots down the field, but definitely after a turnover there.
So I think back one out, right? They got a new quarterback, I think, in there, Ken. Number 15.
Yeah, that's Parker Randall. Freshman quarterback in there.
Wondering if Back got hurt on that last series, or Fairfield Indians are just trying to mix something up, as we notice 1-5 in for the Fairfield Indians. Parker Randall, as you say, is at the helm in the shotgun. Booker behind him.
So Randall,
a quick handoff, and that's going to go nowhere.
88 again.
88, number 8, and I don't know who's in the bottom of that pile.
88, Cody Doyle having a game. Carson Schroyer, credit for the tackle as well. But, you know, that freshman there, Parker Randall, kind of being thrown into the fire here.
Yeah.
Down 24 with 2 minutes left in the third. And, again, as the moon sets over the Hawks' nest, so does the scoreboard over the Fairfield Indians here.
Yeah, that'll put them at 4th and 3 now from the 28-yard line. So they bring the punting crew out this time. Big spread setup they have here on their punts, as it gets a pretty decent kick. It's going to be short, and really nobody back there for the Hawks. Is
nice
the
Indian
Indians
bounce.
Are going to get a good bounce and roll. They're going to get about 12 yards just out of the bounce and roll, and that's going to set the Hawks up right around, what, about the 18, 17-yard line?
That's going to be a net of about close to 45 yards on the punt. Nice long punt, but we do have a flag. Got holding on the Hawks.
That's going to hurt a little bit.
So push him back another 10.
About a 30-yard punt, about average for high school, but he got a good 12, 15-yard roll out of that down to the 18-yard line. And now with the hold on the penalty, that's going to push the Hawks back even a little bit further.
So East is going to have the ball up 24. Minute 30 left in the third. They're still going back even more.
Yeah, I don't think they've marked off the penalty yet from the holding, which was nowhere near the play. I don't know if we got a replay on that at all, but those are the things we've talked about, Ken, is plays that are made nowhere near the ball and really hurt your team, as you are going to be already on the 18-yard line, and now with the penalty back to the 8-yard line, as the Hawks have their back up against their end zone. They come out around the left-hand side. Ryder Hook finds a little seam, finds another one, comes up the sidelines, and makes a little bit of something out of nothing.
This is the area of the field you need to be a little conservative here, because you just saw they fumbled close to the Fairfield end zone. You don't want to have a fumble near your own end zone to give Fairfield that short field. So I would imagine you're not going to take too many chances here. You're going to rely on Hooks to try and get 4 or 5 yards of play and see if he can single-handedly get you some first downs. And then
nice
sure enough, there's a pass.
Pancake block there by P.J. McFarland, doing both ends. Looking for P.J. a lot early, and now they've kind of backed away. And I'd like to see him use that tight end right here instead of that throw to the flat.
Yeah, Carter Jones did have some room there, but that's a tough cross-body throw. So now you've got 3rd and 3 here with just over a minute 18. Clock stopped after the shortage. See the cheerleaders, see the East student section here.
Now he's up under center. Rare. You see Niles up underneath the center there.
I formation.
Got the eye, yep. And comes back, hands it to Ryder Hooks, bounces out, finds some green on the right-hand side, Ken. He's got lots over there. Can he break it? And he's going to turn it up and get it up over the 30 to the 40, almost 35-yard line as Ryder Hook breaks another one and gets him out of trouble there for a first down.
He's got to be approaching 120, 150 yards here, just having an outstanding game. And right there, it's his eyesight up the field where you can try and plow through that hole, but he's a bounce-out running back. He can go out wide and if he get those extra yards.
And if you were saying that earlier, that he's patient, has good eye vision, and man, he saw it and bounced it. And if he gets around number 4 there, he's gone for the races. As I don't think there was anybody out there in front of him, and he had big 18 out there looking to hit somebody. And
so
Boyer,
3-2 on the play clock. I'm not sure they're going to get this off. They barely get the play off.
As they go to number 22, filling in for Ryder Hooks, and he's kind of doing one of the same.
That's Braden Augusta.
The sophomore watching the senior and replicating what his senior running back brethren can do there, 22.
Great time to get some experience on the sophomores, too. You know, there's a lot of good young talent here on the East Field.
McFarland in motion. Niles now in the shotgun. Stops, looks over, and they're going to let
the clock expire.
The quarter run out. So at the end of 3, it's the Hawks 31, Indians 7. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the 4th quarter here at Lakota East High School. In the Hawks' nest, Ken, you said it, the moon was set over the nest, and Hawks got a nice lead here, 31-7 over the Fairfield Indians, as they've got the ball headed their backs against their goal there, and there's a couple of good runs by Ryder Hooks. Takes that shadow of the moon from their end zone and puts them now out over midfield.
Just in time for Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
And the Hawks are really enjoying this ball game with a 24-point lead going into the 4th. We didn't expect it to be this big of a margin here, but Hawks are playing good football here. Ryder Hooks having quite a game, running left, running right, staying on his feet, breaking tackles, and see the student section into Sweet Caroline there.
Yeah, they're into it, and the sophomore quarterback, Niles, having a really good game, too. Did cough the ball up there on that last series, but for the most part has done his part, throwing a good ball, calling a good game, looking around. Now he steps back, tosses one deep up, and gets pulled down from behind as Boyer makes a good adjustment on that, the tall wide receiver. Though it was a little underthrown, Boyer was coming back, and the Fairfield DB had nothing to do but grab him from behind and yank him down.
Chris Boyer made a good adjustment on the ball, like you said, underthrown. But a couple things if we can see this again. Watch Ryder Hooks' block. See the fake there. Hooks makes a nice block and give Knutson time to just throw it up, and Boyer adjusts to the ball and makes the defender go over him, kind of like boxing out in basketball, using that big frame to draw contact.
And Boyer still almost comes down with that. And in high school, not a bad play when you get beat like that. It's a 15-yard penalty. If he would have made that catch, it would have been another 15 yards down the field to the 30. So now the Hawks are over midfield to the 45-yard line. And The play clock was running down here. I'm not for sure how that ran down so fast, but it was down to 2, and Coach Kitna calls a TO.
Yeah, that's their second time out of the half here, but Hawks feeling good about themselves, moving the ball at will up and down the field. They've got Fairfield right where they want them, approaching running clock territory if they get another score on the board.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Kitna's not wanting to use those TOs. He's probably wanting to let that clock just run, as I'm sure he's comfortable with the lead. But as they set up on the 45-yard line now, crossing over midfield as we flip that field on the switched it here on the fourth quarter, going left to right now, the Hawks are.
Going toward the new luxury boxes at the Hawks Nest.
Yeah. The seats down in the end zone down there. There you go.
New feature from the Hawks this year, you can pay to have an end zone seat. Little fundraiser for the team, and there's
Ryder Hooks going over looking for some space, never sees a seam, stretches it out as far as he can, turns it up, and he's going to gain maybe a yard and bring up 2nd and 9.
Axel Rogers on the tackle for Fairfield, and Hooks is saying, what do you want me to do? And he gives a thumbs up to the sideline. So 2nd and 9 here.
Looks like we got an Indian that's got a little stinger there, number 8, and
you hear the band in the background. There are lots of people involved. It's homecoming night here at Lakota East, Dave. We saw the parade of clubs where different club representatives and different class representatives coming out to honor what they're involved in.
Right before we came on the broadcast, they had a nice little homecoming parade going out on the field.
It's the first time I've seen the signs being held up from the sideline. A little roll tide action that we keep seeing from me, so I'm going to have to find out
Newts
what
comes
that
back,
means.
fakes the handoff, now throws across the middle. Ooh, almost interception, and that was number 8, the guy that had the stinger there, that he was trying to work out and wouldn't come out of the game, and almost had a
holding on top for East, so not only do they get the incompletion, but they're going to be pushed back 10 yards. That ball was intended for Boyer here. We're going to see what happens there. Knudsen rolls out and does a good job firming his body up. A nice hand on the defense by number 8, Ansel Rogers.
And Rogers might have had an INT there if he just wasn't working that shoulder. So
2nd and 19 for the Hawks, and there's Carter in motion.
Not the way you want to go. Hand off to Ryder Hooks, looking over the left-hand side now.
Jake Schwartz does a good job bringing him down. Schwartz was the one who had an earlier sack.
Number 5 for the Indians.
So that's going to be 3rd and 19.
So back over the other side on the east side of the 50 now, on the 46-yard line. So nowhere near field goal range, even though we saw that big boot earlier. So,
so now it becomes
going to have to do something here. Either are they going to chew clock up, or are they going to try to...
Yeah, that becomes the question, whether it's more important to have the clock run an extra 30 seconds here, or do you try and aim for the first down? And they are going to put the ball in the air. They're going to put the ball in the air.
Down the center to P.J. McFarland. Just as I said, haven't seen him much since the second quarter. And now P.J. comes up with a big catch right down the seam.
Yeah, that's a great route that he ran, just coming down. Good defense there, but he got his hands up in the air and hauled it in. Nice ball action by Knudsen. He comes back. Good protection by Hooks there. And Knudsen throws the tight spiral. And look at P.J. extend his arms and haul the ball in and then get another 7 yards on top of that. So first down for the Hawks, and they're going to throw it again.
Got a little yak after that, and it's nice to have a 6'5" receiver there, and as the Indians there in that buttercup scheme defense just couldn't hold them down. And
what I like about this Hawks offense is they're using their multiple weapons. So sometimes you get in a rut of, oh, Chris Boyer's pretty good, let's keep throwing to him. Ryder Hooks is good, let's just give the ball to him. But they're doing a nice job, the butterfly scheme. They're doing a nice job of getting the different players involved to make big plays. Jaden Say made a nice play. McFarland makes a nice play.
Now handoff over the left-hand side. Ryder Hooks makes a spin, turn, dives forward for some positive yardage.
Stays in bounds, and the clock keeps ticking there.
Going to take it to about 3rd and 4. I think they can get a first down right at the 1 yard line, Ken.
Yeah, it looks like a little space between the pylon and the farmost stick, but they're hungry for 7 right here.
They are. You can tell. And Hooks was he was tasting it as he made a dive up that sidelines and got as much as he could down to about the 5 yard line and sets up 3rd and 4. And they will have an opportunity to get a first down just inside the 1.5 as goes back to Ryder. Hooks bouncing right, trying to find some space, turns it up, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and nothing doing there. So.
Joseph Traore chucks him to the ground in 4th and 4, field goal range. They're thinking about doing a field goal here. Yep. Coach Kitten is calling the field goal team over, but then he called him back, so we'll see what happens here. Now he does send out the field goal unit, so Fitzstevens
going to set up.
Going to try again.
Looks like going to be right about. They better get to the line of scrimmage. They got 9 seconds. Going to be from the 15 yard line. I don't think they're going to get this off quickly. They did. Up, over. And he splits the uprights as they were almost going to run out of time on the game clock there and have to delay a game.
Call that the fire drill when they're trying to send the team out in a hurry, but that was more like a not sure if we should really leave the hallway or not because the fire bell's ringing, but we're not sure if we could go. But speaking of bells, let's ring the bell 3 times for the score. Oh, a little loud there.
And there's another shot of those little end zone boxes you were mentioning there that you can catch this year in the Hawks' nest. So tack 3 more on. That's 34-7 for the Hawks with 7:58 left here in the 4th quarter and well in control of this one.
Yeah, the Hawks playing the best. Well, I mean, I said that earlier that they hadn't scored that much, but they have had games of 31, 35, and 35 already in this season. So they're right on pace for those other good games they've had. But their defense is definitely playing well.
Defense really.
Fairfield here.
We talked about that early in the broadcast, right, when we first came on, Ken, about how well was the Lakota East defense going to play against the Fairfield Indian offense. When we looked at those GMC stats as the fumbles, the kickoff initially 87 down there around the 10 yard line.
Yeah, nice little recovery there by 87's not on our roster, so not quite sure who that was, but good recovery there after a little drop and scamper ahead. Dave, we got Oak Hills again still beating Hamilton. We've got Lakota West now that took the lead over Middletown 20-13.
I just saw the replay on the kickoff there after the muff. He was able to recover that and get some positive yardage and get the Indians up to the 26 yard line. But yeah, you know, we talked about that defensive leaders where Fairfield was sitting at 4 and East 7, giving up quite a bit of different yardage there. But the Lakota East defense playing super well tonight as the young quarterback's running for his life as number 8 is chasing from behind. He does what he can and gets out of bounds. So Parker Randall there.
Told 87 is another freshman, Jalen Kemp.
Okay.
My credible coach source tells me.
So Randall scrambles there on a broken play, gets something positive out of it, and brings up 2nd down and 4 from the Indians 32.
And if you are at home like Coach Connick watching on YouTube TV, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe so you can see all the action of Westchester sports.
There you go.
East and West, and there's a throw by the freshman just outside.
Randall's looking over there for numbers 1. Floyd, or no, that was Burns. Burns out there for the Fairfield. And you can see here with the freshman quarterback, the timing isn't there. They're a little clunkier. Not quite what was going on with back in there. Still don't know where he's at.
I knew he'd come into the game not feeling the best that he's felt. So I don't know if this is he re-injured an injury or they're just saying let's give the freshman some activity
some minutes
there.
Here being down what they are. as he hands it off now to that Wheeler off the left-hand side. Wheeler finds some space, staying on his feet. And again, the safety has to come up and make a big hit for the Hawks. That's Dawson Reap.
A good run by Wheeler there. He did a good job staying in bounds. Initially, I thought he was sort of going to get chucked out of bounds, but he did a nice job on the sideline there.
Looks like the other 24, doesn't he?
Push, but does a good job staying in bounds. Had about 1.5 yards to spare there.
Looks like the East 24 there running the ball. So with the big gain there for the Indians, they're over the 50-yard line. And I think we got movement by the Fairfield Indians before the snap. So they'll go 5 yards the opposite way, reset, and do this all over again.
So clock still clock stopped here. 30
on the penalty, yeah.
4-7.
So should start on the snap. But here's one of the, when you're up like this, Ken, right? You want to finish the game off. So I know Coach Kitten and the coaching staff is trying to get the boys still focused on the game, that you can't just sit back for 7 minutes and let the other team run down the field on you. So when you got that big lead, you still got to have that drive in you to keep playing hard football and finish this one out.
Yeah, you've got Middletown next week at Middletown. Middletown's playing some of the best football they've played in about a decade. So East travels to Middletown, and then they're home against Coleraine. Then they go to Sycamore. So you get past Middletown, and you got to prepare for that game because they're a good team right now. You have a little reprieve with Coleraine and Sycamore that aren't playing the best GMC football right now. On the other hand, Fairfield hosts Mason, then they go to Hamilton, then they have Princeton. So it does not get easier for Fairfield.
Not at all. And like you said, the Middletown's playing really well right now. So not a game in the past that the Hawks would be comfortable going in. This is going to be a tough battle when they go up 75 next week to play in Middletown Middies. So
yeah, Middletown right now 5-0, the only undefeated GMC. Now Princeton has the one loss, but that was a very quality loss against Moeller. So both teams 4-0 in the GMC, although Lakota West right now up on Middletown by 7 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think they just scored again. So they're up 27-13 now, I'm showing West is on Middletown. So I think that's a good thing for East. With a loss there on Middletown.
Yeah, you're kind of jockeying for a home playoff game right now. So
right.
There's a lot of teams that make the playoffs. Of course, they reduced down to 12 teams this year, down from 16. So top 4 get a bye, and then the next 5 through 12 get to play, with 5 through 8 getting home games, 9 through 12 having to play a playoff game on the road. So 5 minutes left here in the fourth.
4th down to go. They're going to go for it, and being down as they are, it would make sense. And again, Wheeler off the left-hand side with a good run, and he gets the 4 plus a whole lot more.
Yeah, nice play there, and Hawks couldn't get a stop on a big 4th down play, so that's going to give Fairfield 1st and 10 from the East 39-yard line. And like you said, Dave, they for their psyche, they need to get in the end zone there. They need the confidence. East obviously made a couple defensive subs, but you still got to finish strong. Yeah,
and East, sitting back a little bit, doesn't want to watch the opposing team just walk down on them. So they need to tighten up here and get out of this Buttercup defense. And there they go, coming up strong with a big hit on the left-hand side there by
44. He's been the defensive player of the game, Dalton Cheney.
Dalton Cheney coming up with a big hit just when the Hawks needed something, as Fairfield looks like they've been easily moving the ball up the field. You get the long pitch there, and you see 44 coming in.
Cheney with a good read, and Fofi, Tauda, and Ira was in the right spot too, which allowed the tackle for loss there by Dalton. So 2nd and 12 here for the Indians.
Yep, the freshman sitting back in his shotgun. Wow, almost had him in the backfield on the handoff on 1st and 15 there.
72 for the Hawks. Carter Posna again says Not in my house.
Yeah, he almost was in the backfield to take the handoff, so there's a good shot of that D line, 72-96.
Yeah, Alex Donnellan there, and Carter Fosnos had a very good defensive game. So 3rd and long. See if they're going to throw it with
Cody Doyle up on that line too, on that DN, and they're winning the battle in those trenches right now as Parker's back there, looks, throws a quick ball up. That's going to be maybe an INT as Ryder Hooks shows the knight sword and shoves it into his seat.
Yeah, Hooks again still in on defense after his great offensive game. Still in on defense, which
we'll see the replay here, Ken. Yeah, Randall goes.
Hops gets a nice tip there, as does another Hawk defender.
If Burns doesn't show up there, I think Ryder Hook has an INT, man. And he's almost got the triple-double there. The only thing he doesn't have is an INT and a touchdown. He almost got that.
So 4th and 11, and Fairfield's going to go for it. Freshman quarterback Randall Parker, future of the Fairfield offense, with back graduating.
Puts a man in motion. Looks to hand off, nothing going there. I think that was a busted
it,
play because I think Wheeler was supposed to take that and go.
Yeah, somebody definitely cross signals there, and 72 for the Hawks there, make the tackle. Again, Carter Fosna.
Fosna having a good game down in those trenches as he beats off the block. Stand there, a couple of Hawks right there, 8, 9.
Yeah, it looked like.
So that's Scheuer, Bush, all right there waiting to jump on that tackle.
Looked like Parker may have turned the wrong way there. Supposed to be a handoff left, and he turned right.
Yep, and the freshman quarterback said, "Where'd you go?"
So now we'll see what the
3:48 can, and you would think this is just going to be run by the Hawks.
Yeah, it looks like we got a new quarterback in there, number 2, AJ Skoog, who's a senior in at quarterback.
Taking over the helm here for these last minutes. Going to hand it off. I don't see, that's 22, the sophomore running back as well.
That's Braden Auguste. You know, I love that AJ Skoog stayed with this Hawks team, because if you're a senior and you have a brand new sophomore coming in and you find out he's the quarterback, it's easy for a kid to say, you know what, I want to get a job, I don't want to play anymore.
I've had enough.
Skoog, he's a leader. He's a kid who's going to stay with the program, be a leader, and support his Thunderhawk team his senior season. So great to see him getting some action here in this game.
Love it. Love to see him staying in there and giving his senior leadership, because like you said, really easy to just punch out, right? And a lot of kids do their senior year when they know they're not going to get the minutes. Whether it's football, basketball, you name the sport.
Another handoff to Auguste, and that's going to move the chains for the Hawk first down.
And this is exactly what the Hawks need and Coach Kittner wants. A couple of handoffs, keeping the clock rolling, getting a first down, and resetting, giving yourself 4 more downs here. So 2:45 and running. I don't think the Indians are in any shape or form are looking to try to stop the clock down 34-7.
A couple new receivers in the game. Griffin McQueen, I know, is one. Let's see who else we can call the name up to see who's in the game here. Got another split
left. Handoff to 22 again. Finds the seam too. Looking very much like that senior running back, Ryder Hooks, mirroring him, slipping through, finding holes, and going north and south, and gets a good gain, brings it up to about the 47-yard line.
Alex Feldmeyer is another one, like Skoog, who senior, he's in the game here, getting his minutes in as a senior.
So Brandon with a nice run there, brings it up 2nd and 1.
That speaks to the culture that Coach Kitten is bringing, that you know, you still feel like a part of the team. You're a senior, but you're not a starter. You're not in the game a lot, but you get in the game and you buy into that culture and you build a program that way.
Yep, he hands it off again to Brandon. And he's going to get that 1.5 yards and then some and move the chains, and it's going to be another first down for the Hawks. And with 1:40 and running, I think that's going to be just about drain the last ticks of this game here, as the Hawks aren't looking to stop the clock, and I don't think Fairfield wants to either.
See 82 in the game, Nick Morrow. Also see number 19 in the game, Christopher Stowe, in at tight end.
So
sure, there's
down
some linemen
27.
there in the trenches that haven't been in yet. A couple more handoffs, and we could put the lid on
Now
this
he goes
one,
back in the back, throws the ball out. Nice spiral. Pushes it over to number 81.
Griffin McQueen, nice catch.
So nice little pitch and catch there by the senior.
Griffin McQueen.
McQueen, a sophomore wide receiver. Like you said, a lot of talent, a lot of young talent coming up. And these are big minutes that these kids are getting to have here at the end of this game.
Of course, they'll play tomorrow on Saturday, but playing Friday Night Lights is a different story.
Absolutely. Say again.
Another
Throws it
pass
back
by
over there.
Stu.
82.
That's Nick Morrow, another sophomore with the catch.
So the seniors finding these young sophomore receivers and tossing some dimes around here with the last couple of ticks, moving the chains and keeping the clock running. And these backups look like they want to get the ball in the end zone here as Say goes back, looks, doesn't see anything, pulls it down, runs over, steps out.
Yeah, Scoot runs the ball there. Most of the time you want him to stay in bounds and just run the clock out, but
absolutely.
I think Scoot wanted to take one more snap.
Give me one more snap, Coach. Give me one more snap. I'll step out here. So, yeah. They'll catch that on film tomorrow, right, and say, hey, in the future, let's just stay in bounds. But, hey, I love it. I love seeing the seniors step out, take another snap, and I think we might see the victory formation now, Ken.
On the field for the field goal, number 34, Bailey Hawker.
Oh, see number 34 coming in the game to kick the field goal. And that
lady, number 34, and I think Coach is going to call timeout to get this in. So, yep, he's going to save it. Number 34 on the roster, I heard. I don't think she's on here, is she? Yeah, can't be the same 34 that we're seeing here.
Yeah, not sure who that is there, but going to get a chance here for the field goal.
She's got the pink shoes on. She's ready to go do it. I think it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month too. She's got those pink cleats on, and she's going to set up for a 42-yarder, Ken.
Griffin McQueen's going to hold. We'll see if she has the leg.
As Coach Kitna calls the TO to give her the opportunity, as the Ramsey is going to have the kickoff. High snap, gets it down, and surely not what she probably had in mind, as the snap was pretty high on the holder. He tried to get it down, and she did the best she could. As would have loved to see in a nice clean snap to see it looked like she had a foot there.
Yeah, good leg on it, and it had good accuracy. Just didn't get the hold quite down. The timing was a little off, but it's fun to see.
And as you know, as in kicking, man, it is all timing, right? You see that high snap, and you kind of hesitate a little bit. Unfortunate there on a high snap, but the holder did a pretty good job of trying to get it down and give her a chance, and she got what little boots she could there after the snap, because I'm sure that timing had to be thrown off majorly. But
it's a very convincing win for the East Thunderhawks here. Fairfield again coming off the upset of West last week. Didn't quite have the offensive prowess that they need to have to beat a team that can score like the East Hawks, but East, a tough opponent next week in Middletown. We're going to have one last play for Fairfield here.
Yep, got 15 ticks left on the clock. See what they are going to do with this. As freshman quarterback sets up in the shotgun. Going to hand it off to Wheeler, it looks like. And he's going to go forward, I'm guessing, for the last play of the game, as both teams run to their sidelines as the clock ticks down 3-2-1. And big home win for the Lakota East Thunderhawks, 34, Fairfield Indians 7. My pleasure. From the booth, Dave Royce, Ken Yablonska. Come back and see us again here on Westchester Cable TV.